back now, do you feel a little bit more relieved, or do you feel that...
Well, no. Truthfully, relief will come whenever you see like a final answer.
Okay.
You know, kind of a thing. So you still have an anxiety thing, but you just kind of put it at the lower level of where anxieties are. Mm-hmm. It's just still a muddled question back over here somewhere.
Is he starting to get his appointments to see the particular VA doctors yet? Nothing?
No, he's got nothing of that because they sent him back something and said, you didn't tell us exactly where you were at. Well, he had filled it out and said exactly where he was at. Mm-hmm. But he knew what he was in, where he was at, even though it didn't say the name Vietnam. Mm-hmm. He knew that where he was at, he still was around the same stuff because they sprayed it around every area.
Correct.
You know, so it wasn't as though the address is different, but the process was the same, you know?
So we're basically playing a political game.
At this point.
Of verbiage and how it was worded.
Well, kind of like you never asked for my help before. Now that you're older, why are you asking for my help now?
Right. And
well, it doesn't necessarily mean we were going to ask for your help. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to get some things squared away, answered, and a card, mm-hmm. let's say, that says you are entitled to XXX, to where if something happens to him, I know I can go fight for him.
Right.
And if I don't have those answers, I don't have anything sitting somewhere that's going to help me.
Right.
If you walked out tomorrow and said, hey, Barbara, I'm moving, you're my only contact with anybody that I know I can talk to and put a name to and a face to.
Mm-hmm. But again, I can see, because the first thing that the military, VA is going to do is try to say, where were you at in country? Prove that you were in country and all this other stuff like that.
Well, we've got the paperwork to prove all of those things.
And again, it has been known that the VA has been told to slow up. Mm-hmm.
Because there's so many other ones coming back.
So the other ones are coming back and everything else, and they're not getting the priority that he deserves, because I do believe he should have priority because of the simple fact that he is a Vietnam vet and he has symptoms that are listed under the words Agent Orange. Yeah. And under those particular words, those symptoms and everything else, you were supposed to be pushed up to the head of the line to try to get this stuff taken care of, but they're, lack of a better word, they're dragging their feet right now. I think is the best way to say it. Is that what you think? Or?
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
I realize that they're not completely automated. Mm-hmm. Well, which kind of like blows my mind. How can they have stacks of paper like this for one person, but you've got enough automation that you can fly something around the world and drop a bomb and find somebody by his license plate, kind of bull crap to blow him up. Mm-hmm. But you can't figure out how to find somebody's name in this that says we need to deal with this person with this stack of papers. Right. You know, so.
In fact, they were dealing with you have to send them stacks and stacks of papers. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's not even on a computer. This morning, even on the Today Show this morning, they were talking to people at a VA situation, mm-hmm. that they will not be automated to where all these stacks of paperwork can be scanned and put into a computerized system until the middle to the latter part of 2015. How many more billions, trillions will we spend fighting these situations? Because by the time they put that system together, the system will be outdated and obsolete.
Yeah, yeah.
That's military. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now they literally this morning, and I'm thinking to myself, how ironic, Gregory's supposed to come over today. You know, I'm wondering if he's up this early watching this, you know. That they were showing for one guy in his home, mm-hmm. had a stack of paper like this, mm-hmm. in the folders, and he was wearing a brace on his hand, mm-hmm. and he said the brace wasn't from military or from working and stuff. The brace is from trying to go through his own personal stuff to try to find out what was going on.
Yeah, I have boxes of stuff like that. I have 800 and maybe 1,000 pages of different boxes I've had, mm-hmm. all built up, different paperwork and everything else like that. It's just that you know, I got lucky. So And sometimes it is, sometimes it's luck, and sometimes it isn't
It's
luck.
persistent.
It's persistent, but
Yeah.
but as they always say, squeaky's wheel get the most it makes the most noise, gets the people to look at him, and that's what he's doing right now. He's now being a squeaky wheel. He's now being persistent, but it was at a cost of you cracking the whip on him to get him
Well,
that.
truthfully, I think the majority of men are that way.
Mm-hmm.
That as long as you can move and function,
Mm-hmm.
you want to postpone thinking what your destiny is.
Mm-hmm.
Because you still, this brain is saying, you're 20, 30, 40.
Right.
Your body is saying, I'm 66, baby, 68. You better wise up a little bit. 67 in a few weeks, to him. He'll be 67 in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we would all like to think we're still in our 30s, that we got a lifetime ahead of us, that we can make things happen all over again. We can rediscover ourselves and go another route. It's not necessarily going to happen that way. Right now, if there's not enough jobs for who is coming back,
Correct.
how do
Correct.
you think you're going to create a new job or a new slot for you to make back enough to take care of yourself somewhere along the line?
Well, and their families too.
And their families too,
And
that's
families
right.
too. So you're hoping that if everything goes correctly, stuff will come back. Will make it so that you both be able to get insurance through the military
Right.
and
Or whatever, because right now,
take care of
Yeah.
whatever. I'm sorry, please. You were
No.
saying?
well, right now, granted, I work, I'm lucky enough to work, and I do have us completely covered for eyes, dental, and health,
Right.
medical. Right, but if tomorrow I walked in the building, they said, you're gone, Barbara, I have nothing because I haven't even signed up for the Medicare, because I wanted to keep us covered like this, because at the time, he was too young to be covered under my Medicare. So why should I paid 1.5 years of Medicare because I was instructed to, even though I took them forms and showed that I was having to pay. I couldn't quit my insurance because it would have dropped him, the husband.
Wow.
So I was paying $544 or $584 that I pay at work for our medical coverage.
But we're still not even talking. When you said 584, and you're not even talking about what you have to pay if you had a mortgage. I'm
talking, that was just insurance, that's what I paid for just our insurance.
Yeah, you're not talking about something, go get something to eat.
Oh my God, no.
Gas.
Yeah.
Nothing else like that. Even if you try to go relax,
No.
you're just talking, that's just on insurance.
That's just on insurance for the two of us to be covered.
Wow.
And that was one of the things that I kept saying, Dave, eventually we're going to, if I lose the job, or if they say, okay, we're not keeping you any longer, because Home Depot does have a right to say that.
No, I'll scratch that out.
Okay. They do have a right to say that. That's in their contract with you.
Mm-hmm.
You can be gone for no reason, no apparent reason, if they make that choice.
Correct.
So I said, we're just fooling ourselves that you don't have these answers when there is a possibility to get answers. Not that we have to have it, and if we didn't have to have it, then maybe we would not use it. But why be without it if you are entitled to it?
Correct. Yes, and he is, in my opinion, he is entitled to it.
Yeah.
Anybody that serves during that time period, and I don't know if he was drafted or he volunteered or whatever, it's still, he went, and he was during that time period, and so he was 100% when he took off, and he's not 100% now, and it didn't catch up to him until a certain age. Some of the different people that came back caught up with him at different ages.
That's right.
And
Because they maybe they came back and they had enough mental trauma that they drank, they smoked, they did other things that was destroying their health.
Right.
He isn't a person that did that. He's not been a drinker, he's not been a smoker, he's not been that kind of a person that in knowing chemistry and becoming a chemist, at where we worked for years and years, him 32 years for the company that we worked for, he had enough sense to know that you don't do the destructive things, and to take the vitamins and everything else to try to keep yourself as healthy as possible.
Right.
to where you just can hold on to the jobs you have. So I think that played a big part in it, because it might have just gone the other way had he come back and been caught up in the same routine of what a lot of other people came back here and got caught up in.
Your health, because of your stress dealing with him, how's your health?
Cholesterol sky high. We laughingly have a joke here, you know, I'm sitting at a red light, Dave, I can feel the cholesterol thickening, you know, so, but the cholesterol is high, the blood pressure is high, it's one of those things that when you don't, and I'm not saying that is all on account of this, because it
seems like a very, very high percentage of this.
Oh my God, yes, because the more you pass that, because
it's not,
the more you pass that place that's 3 miles from your everyday life, going and coming, you're seeing it twice a day. So twice a day for a number of miles, you've got that same idea on your mind.
even if you try to forget about it, you're passing
Right,
it.
you're passing it, because it happens to be on that road.
Yeah, and
So at
it's
any
one road to get the heck out of here.
That's right.
That's
And every
road.
day that you come and go, you can see a new group of flowers. You can see the motorcyclist with the flags. You can see the people parked on the other side of the road selling the bouquets to go in there. So you're reminded with a lot of physical, mental pictures
Right.
that you carry with you every day. And you're thinking to yourself, my God, wonder if that person was old or young, or what kind of a life they got to live.
Or did they live a life? Or
Did they live a life, or didn't they get to live a life?
Did they live a life?
Right.
But the stress that has caused you, hopefully you, everything will get better when everything starts coming in and you start getting the yeses and everything else like that.
The yeses are the answers that, if there's still